What's up, family and friends? It's your girl Glow, aka Sim Winnie, coming to you out of Cali once again on a token of love. Right now, I'm gonna say that first because I like uplifting us, friends and family, loved ones all over the world. I want to send you great energy, great love, great peace, great balance, great reciprocity, great harmony, great justice, great truth in your walk, in your everyday walk, in your everyday life. I just want to lift you up. All of those that are sick and ill in their body with cancers and with all kind of diseases of any abnormality in the body. I speak to those diseases and those illness in your body and tell them they have to flee, they have to go, that they have no place in your body. You understand? So I just want to let everybody know that I love them. I have an unconditional love, and I would expect everybody to love me unconditionally that comes into my circle that say they are genuine people. The genuine people, I just want to talk to you. I don't need people that dislike me, feel like I kind of like her, I kind of trying to see what you don't have to try to figure me out. Do not try to figure me out, because I am not nothing to figure out. I'm just another spiritual being having a human experience who've been enlightened about a lot of things that's going on in this world. I don't claim to be some all majestic, powerful goddess like all these other sisters is walking around here claiming that they are. Yeah, you can say to lift yourself up, to feel good about yourself, that I am royalty, I am the goddess. We can do all that if we want to at the end of the day, but that heart speaks volumes to the universe. That heart tells whether you genuine or not. That heart speaks volumes from the universe. The universe knows your heart. Okay, so a lot of people like to act like goddesses and act like kings and act like genuine people, but they're not. So I'm not speaking to those people that are not. And for those that are not, come on across on the other side and get some of this love of unity that we be kicking off all around the world. But my issue here today is about the white privilege that white children feel like they have. And the reason why white children feel like they have that type of privilege is because the heinous things that their forefathers did to all the indigenous people on the lands throughout the United States, throughout other countries, Africa and other countries all around the world. Mind you, I have to remind you, first of all, you must know that these Caucasian white European people are nothing but a Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, Denisovan. I was taught this by one of my brothers, Enan Hankerson. I was able to sit with him and had learned a whole history about the Neanderthal man. And so I'm honored about that, right? To even know that the people, these white Caucasian people that we are dealing with, are not authentic. They never have been and they never will be. They don't see like we see. They don't taste like we taste. Our taste buds is like 100 times more potent than their taste buds. When you see them with colored and blue and green eyes, that means that the vessels and the veins in their eyes don't connect like dark pigmented people have. The darker your eyes is all the way down to black, you see better color. When you have black, see people with black eyeballs, you get scared like, ooh, their eyeballs are really, really black. The reason why their eyeballs are really, really black, because they see colors that you cannot see. Brown people see colors that people with gray eyes and blue eyes cannot see, okay? We have taste buds that white people cannot taste the same foods that we have because they are GMO people. They were made in a laboratory. When the African people of the African nations sent those people over to Europe and those Caucasians, in them Caucasus Mountains, they had to send them people away because they were very barbaric. Cannibals, 100%. And it took 1,000 years to teach them to get out of those ways after they was rescued out of the Caucasus Mountains by the Moors. It took 1,000 years for those people to learn how to walk upright like a regular human. Like a regular human. And mind you, the only humans on the face of this planet are African people. Are African people. Do your science, do a little history, you'll find that out yourself. But being that said, when these people came out of the Caucasus Mountains, it took 1,000 years for them to learn how to stand up. to learn how to even put a suit on, to even call themselves what they call themselves today. The European man that we're dealing with today is a new European man. If you look at the history, and we have so much history, we got all kind of documentaries out that give us the history about the lineage of these European people, the savagery that they have committed on indigenous lands throughout the world. So now we're dealing with these people who had the privilege, because the consciousness of black man had to been very low for us to continue. Now we got our Nat Turners and our different people who fought back, and they hit that history, making it seem like we never, ever, ever tried to even rise and fight back against these people, when we were fighting back the whole entire time of being taken into captivity. So now we're dealing with Caucasian people's, European people's children. Now the children want to go to school and they want to shoot up the whole school. They want to shoot the teacher, the principals, anybody that they feel like, I want to shoot them. I'm going to shoot them today. I'm going to kill them because why? They hurt my feelings. They hurt my feelings. Could you imagine this little boy when he was preparing those bombs? He had enough bombs that was going to kill 600 kids in the cafeteria. If he would have got to the bombs in the cafeteria, he would have killed at least 600 students in the cafeteria during a lunch break. See, but you got to understand the psychopath mind of the Caucasian people and their children. The children had sat up and heard grandfather talk about how he hung hundreds of niggas on crosses, on trees, how they drowned them, how they peeled their skin, how they raped them, how they did all kind of barbaric, grotesque things to African and Native people on the land. Now the children feel like, I want to grow up and I want to murder and get away with it, granddaddy and dad. I was depressed. I didn't feel good today. And I'm mad because they didn't let me come and get in their glee club. So I'm going to go shoot and kill all of them. This is the psychopath mind of these children. You don't see African American children, African Native children, Native people, Chinese people, Mexican children. You do not see them concoct their guns together and go to school and blow off everyone's head. Reason why white kids do that, because they then heard the stories and they know the historical stories of us being mowed down and killed by the millions. From Hitler to all around the world, they have been mowing down and killing people by the millions. It is billions and billions of people. I'm tired of the millions statement that they're trying to say it's only millions of people. It's been billions of people being killed on this planet by these Caucasian people. And now their children want to go to school. You have Ruth Dillon, who went into a church and said, I'm going to slaughter everybody here. You have Nicholas Cruz who went up in Florida just on the 14th and said, I'm going to slaughter everybody here. You have the Columbine High students. One of his name was Dylan. The other one name was Eric. Columbine High. They killed 23 students and then they killed themselves. Oh, they hurt my feelings. I'm going to kill everybody at school. They shouldn't have said that about me. I'm going to kill everyone. And they come back and they kill everyone. Why? Because their forefathers got away with it. So now the children said, I want some blood too. I want to taste it. You know what I'm saying? So this is the world we live in. A very cannibalistic, barbaric world. We got all kind of fast food restaurants, from McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, all these different restaurants who serve human meat and tell y'all that it's burgers, regular beef patties. And even the beef patties that you claim you eating is not 100% beef. It is clone meat since 1965. All the grocery stores, Superior, Food for Less, Ralph's. I don't care where you go grocery shopping at and you see tons of meat. The meat is clone meat. The meat is a GMO meat. Synthetic meat. You understand what I'm saying? So you got white America making us cannibals. without our knowledge. The Pepsi, sodas, RCs, and all the sodas that you drink has fetal stem cell in it. So every time you think you're drinking a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola or a Sprite or a Mountain Dew, you're drinking stem cells of fetal tissues. Facts. Facts. July 1st, 2015, Obama and Pepsi Indico industry had to go to court. And when I say Barack Obama, he's the president of Pepsi Indico. You guys need to do a little history that I know about. But he went to court and said, we don't have to tell you what's in our food and in our flavoring. He said this. Obama. You can go watch the video yourself. He said we don't have to give up information on our flavorings and what we put into our food. That is a secret. Well, know that you guys are being made out of cannibals secretly, drinking sodas with fetal stem cells in it to give it the flavor. So you're drinking blood. All in your macaroni and cheese. People love to eat macaroni and cheese, Kraft, Vita, and all this other stuff. It has blood in it. If we do a little bit of history, we'll find out how barbaric and how cannibalism that these people have made us without us even knowing. How about that? It's really sad, though, how white privilege has come this far. All the way down into 2018, we still sitting up here talking about Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, oh Lord, Kumbaya. We don't need to be singing Kumbaya no more. We need to be getting together. We need to bring the truth, just like we had a Million Man March. We need to have a march for truth. We need to have at least 3 to 4 million people come marching to the Capitol. I ask people to join me all the time. You know, I want to be the first one, or you say, well, not the first one in 2018 or in these years to sue the shit out of America for lying to us and stealing our whole history. Who's gonna stand with me on that? Let's sue the shit out of America for lying to all the indigenous people around the world and discombobulating us and setting us in places all to make us completely confused about where we are. Now we got people. I had a homie on live this morning who was arguing about Wikipedia or Wikla and where it was at, saying it was in Chicago, it was here, it was there, and people thought it was in Africa somewhere else. Wakanda or wherever, thought it was somewhere else. And it's right here in the United States, right here in Chicago. Because reason why we arguing not knowing if we Native Americans or if we African Americans is because we didn't let them discombobulate us all over the world to now we don't even know who we are. Wherever you was born at, that's where you native at. You are native wherever you born. See, we got to let them stop trying to tell us these words don't mean nothing to us. Native is wherever you was born at. I'm Native American. I was born here. I wasn't born in Africa. Maybe my ancestors were born in Africa, so they was Native African. Or maybe they was born in Japan, so they Native Japan. And we know the continent was all together one last mask, and we all separated over the thousands of years. We know all of that part. We know all the people in the world come from one source and one landmass, and that's Africa. And they even gave Africa that name. That ain't even the original name. So yes, we know we come from all around the world, but we've been monopolized all over the world by the different Caucasian people. And we still sit back here like, I'm going to the MTV Awards. I'm going to the BET Awards. Don't you know them niggas have been taught to do this? Our celebrities have been taught to turn the other cheek. Because they rich and ain't no need me worried about you. Then we have a conscious community. Everybody want to be smarter than a 5th grader. Everybody want to be smarter than a 5th grader. Look, all of our knowledge is going to come into par. The universe is going to give it to us too anyway. The atmosphere, when the red and the blue, when the blood moon came, the blood moon was letting us know those that are unconscious will remain and go higher. And those that was not unconscious when the blood moon had came, we're going to stay in that dimension of life. Because the blood moon only come every 24,000 years. You ought to be honored that you was alive during that blood moon that came around every 24,000 years. That's why we're going through all these Pisces and Aquarius and all this other stuff. We still got hundreds to live, yes, before we even eventually go into Aquarius. A lot of people just want to say we're in Aquarius because we're going by what white astrologers are saying. We're not in Aquarius yet, because if we was in Aquarius, we would see the different changes in the universe. When we see catastrophic things happen that we ain't never seen before, once the universe lines up. So consciously, we have to line up with ourselves, with nature, get in tune with everything around us. Because most definitely, white people have the privilege to mow us down and murder us without a problem. And we sit back and we pacify it like it's okay. But I'm not going to dwell too much longer. I just want to let you all know that white privilege is going forward, and there is white privilege, and these children now feel like I can go and murder your kids at school because my grandfather used to do it, and my great-grandfathers killed the Indians and the native people and went to Africa, and Hitler and our forefathers killed all the Jews and all this other stuff. Now these children feel like it is our turn now, and ain't nothing you can say or do about it, because white people taught them how to murder and kill. So we just need to get our children prepared for these kind of kids that's going to go into schools and you never know, or any type of business, and go ham because their forefathers taught them this shit. And so now they feel like I'm going to go and do the same thing. I need some history on murdering and killing some niggas to keep me where I am on top. So African people, Native people, whatever you like to call yourself, it is time for us to educate our children. It is time for us to educate the neighbors and the peoples around us about who these people really are and how they have stole and took everything from Native people. When they wrote the Bible in 1604 and they told us that the devil was out to kill, steal, and destroy, they was talking about themselves. They were talking about themselves. They are out to kill, steal, and destroy everything. Why? Because they are not in one with nature. They was created outside of nature. And when we as a people created these people outside of nature, that's when our nature failed. So we created a beast that came up against us, something not natural, a GMO. And that's what they promote, GMO everything. That's why we got plastic children that they're creating for child molesters. We got plastic women that they're creating for men who have fetishes. Not fetishes, but that has gone compulsively crazy sexually. They need some plastic to lay up and have sex with because they GMO. Everything is GMO when it comes to white people. Everything. They're GMO people. Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, Denisovans. They are the real true monkeys and apes, cave people. While they was in the caves, we were over there with our dynasties. Okay, we are the oldest people on the face of this planet. The Caucasian race just got here. The Mexican race just got here. Chinese and so forth. The oldest people on the land mass of this earth are African people at this point. Even before us, the people of Atlantis and everywhere else, they also were of African descent, but they wasn't the African people that we are today because we didn't already transformed. So being that said, people, we just need to wake up and understand that who we are as a nation, who we are as a people. And everything has been turned around on us. Now we are told we are the liars. We're told we are the ones doing all the murdering. We're told that we are the loud people, when we know who the loud people are. We know who the aggressive people are. We know who the barbaric, cannibalistic people are. We know this. It doesn't even take a rocket scientist no more to over and understand who the one who's doing all the murdering and killing on this planet, and why the consciousness is in the state of mind that it is in now. People need to wake up to that, all right? So I'm going to get on up out of here. Like I said, I love everyone. I want females to stop sitting up trying to get in cliques with other females to talk about other females, especially when they're not present. You tell them sisters right then and there, because I do. Don't talk about my sister. She's not here to defend herself. That lets you know when your heart is righteous, because that's why white people can't speak up for black people. Those righteous white people that y'all want to say that's y'all friends. The reason why they can't speak up and say nothing, because they don't want to say anything because they know that truly deep down inside they ain't right. So we got a lot of sisters who sit up and talk about other sisters, and then they'll go into a whole conversation talking about another sister instead of one sister sitting up saying, don't talk about her. She ain't here to defend herself, because this is a problem we need to solve within us. We need to solve this problem. You got a lot of sisters want to sit up on the phone and be like, girl, this and that. Don't sit up and let women talk in your ear, lying about the next sister or brother. Don't do that. Don't do that, because people gonna say what they want to say about people. But don't let them sit up and do it to you, bringing that negative energy into your soul and into your spirit, putting a soft spot in your heart to make you think bad about somebody. It's always somebody trying to paint a portrait of someone else instead of painting a portrait of their damn self. Paint a portrait of yourself and see how your portrait come out about you. Don't paint no portrait of me to someone else and tell them everything and all the details that you want them to know. Tell them the truth. I really don't know this person, but this is the vibes that I get from them. That's your vibes, because whatever vibes that you feel within you is the vibes that you putting out anyway. That's why a lot of people come in contact with people say I don't like them. That's why white people can say they don't like us. That's why they can. That's why Mexican people say they don't like us, because they truly don't. They truly don't. But that behavior is learned from these white people. That's why black people don't get along. We learned that shit from them. Right? But we gods and goddesses and all that shit though. But sitting up talking about the next sister and sitting up talking about the next brother. That's just something that puzzles me about black people, that we sit up and talk about each other instead of saying sister so-and-so ain't here or brother so-and-so ain't here. Don't talk about them. That's that real genuine shit. When you can tell a motherfucker, don't sit up and talk about that person. They not here to defend themselves, you know? And then you got people that want to think that you hating on them. I can't stand them kind. Or she a hater. And she always, no, that's you. That's your spirit. You're talking about yourself. You're talking about yourself. Oh, she said this, or nah, ain't nobody had to say nothing about you. It's the picture you want to paint about that person because you don't like them. And that's what white people do all day long. They get on the media and they get in front of the TV. They talk about black people, black people, black people, black people. But they're actually talking about themselves. They're talking about themselves. So, being that said, family, stop sitting up listening to he said, she said, hearsay, hey say, he said, we say, go to hell is what I say, okay? Because a lot of that stuff is BS and we do not need that in our circle. What we need in our circle is love and unity. That's what we need in our circle. And so we must understand that we do not need to keep on pacifying, I'm going to say fuck shit. We got to stop pacifying it. Excuse me for my French, but we all adults here, because I don't have no kids on my line. So just being that said, I just want all you all to know, let's stop treating each other like trash and trying to sit up and talk about each other and feel like I'm smarter than a fifth grader. Everybody feel like they smarter than a fifth grader, and that's a joke. I say that as a joke. The reason why I say a lot of people feel like they smarter than a fifth grader, black people got the tendency, that ain't right. You don't know that. You ain't read this. You ain't did that. We have enough stuff around here for us to read, to research, that will last us for eternity. But does that make your heart right? Okay? So let's just focus on our heart. Let's focus on getting the information out here about these Caucasian children going ham and feeling like they have the privilege that their families and them had. You know what I'm saying? So now it's the children's turn now. You better wake up and pay attention to that. We must continue to pray for our atmosphere, pray for the grand awakening, that grand awakening. I'm believing for that grand awakening. I even go into my mind and visual the new black utopia with waterfalls and birds like we ain't never seen, flowers that we ain't never seen, and mountains and rivers and just beauty we ain't never seen in our whole entire life, you know. So I'm gonna get on up out of here and stop ramping. It's your girl Glow coming to you out of Cali, aka Sim Winnie. And trust me, believe me, when I want to put some stuff down on paperwork and do it very, very, very professional and get before some people and do it professional, trust me, I can. That ability is in everyone. So peace to you all. I am at home doing my video to you all, just letting you know that I love you, and we must continue to think about and keep our mind focused on positive things, keep our mind focused on our children, keep our mind focused on self-love, and let us not forget the white privilege that is going on in America with these white children. And we need to most definitely get on the topic of that publicly. I want it to go public. I want them to talk about publicly over the history time of black and whites being in America together, who have done all the fuck shit and the heinous crimes in America. And it has narrowed itself down to white people being the devils out to kill, steal, and destroy. They are the devils. Peace.